Hello everyone. I said I was going to go live tonight and here I am. It is 9:30. We did errands, so if I stayed up past your bedtime, I'm sorry, especially CJ in the UK. You're probably...
And Elizabeth, who's
right.
probably already in bed.
Elizabeth, I texted you. I told her, and if you're here, just say hi, let me know how it's going. So, did you watch the unboxing of the Ninja Swirl monstrosity? If not, go back and look at that. I'll talk a little bit about it, but we kind of looked at some of the instructions. We looked at the general idea of it, and we will go over some of that too. I have not used it till right now. I did not see it until a couple of minutes ago, or not a minute ago, till yesterday when I opened the box. And we figured out some things together. Kitty Mommy's here, Marcia, Jill, Elizabeth, and Ann, yay! And if you were here, come say hi. So I made 2 pints. We're only gonna spend 1 pint tonight, and then we'll spend another one tomorrow. So the one for tonight is Dole Whip. It is 1 ingredient, just canned crushed pineapple and juice. And, okay, Betty Ann said she's curious. She watched the unboxing. And see, this is just like the lids on the Breeze. Well, actually, the lids on any of them. They just pop off. And this one froze pretty evenly.
Wow.
You moved the mouse. Wait.
Sorry.
She always moves, and this is Cheryl.
Hey.
In case I made her come hang out with me.
She made me.
It's true.
And if you see me laughing or looking in the other direction, it's because there is chaos happening over there. The cats are playing.
Elizabeth's like, you're bringing this on the cruise, right? Unless you can get me a freezer that can hold these, the answer is no. I already said I have this little blender here I looked at last night. We're not really going over it now, but I'll go over it this week. I'm going to see if I can bring this on the cruise and make dressings and sauces with some of my mixes. If it works, I'm going to make a video.
It doesn't have heat, and it's battery operated.
And it's battery operated. It's not that big.
It's just rechargeable. It's just a USB-C rechargeable thing.
And it has a little thing so you can actually turn it upside down, take it off the base, and you can walk around with your smoothie or whatnot. Aw, Betty Ann, you're so sweet.
Thank you.
Hi, Nambia fan. It's awesome to see you. Let's see. Okay. I think I've caught up with that. So I've let this sit out for about 15 minutes. So you can see there's a little bit of glistening on top. I feel like this did not get a hump, so I am not going to scrape it. If it had a hump or a bump, I would just take a spoon and scrape it. It does perhaps have a anyhow, we won't.
It looks a little,
but like it doesn't have to.
But not very much. Like
no. That's not a real hump.
I can get a level.
Y'all need to see this. Look, she's like, I'll get a level so we can see if it's like 1 millimeter. No, that's the whole thing. It's not that big a deal. There's a little bit, but that should be fine. Hi, one Anti-Venom NTS. It's awesome to see you. I love watching other people getting things and being excited. I'm a little nervous. So if anybody's watching this who didn't watch the other one.
I mean, it's as big as I am. Like, it's bigger than my head. Like,
all of them are bigger than your head, I hope.
Not really.
Well, this one's like double. So like I look at it as if it was divided down the middle. And except for the handle, a laser level. Don't encourage her. No, I'm just kidding. This is how we process, just like with our original, deluxe, Breeze, Ninja Creamni. Over here is the swirl component that we have not tried out. Plus, this is how we dispense the swirl. Okay, so one of the things that on the parts, it even says on this, use first to process, use second to dispense. And
where was that one at?
That was on this one.
So there's 2 different lids.
There's 2 different lids, yeah. See, she doesn't watch what I do. live my life. No, I'm kidding. She had to hear it, but like she'll edit videos and she'll be like, how do you make that? I'm like, you just listen to it 16 times.
I shut it out.
That's what marriage is about. Okay, so everything should be okay. Here's the difference with like this part and the difference. Let me find it on here. There's a quick start. Where's the quick start? Everything's a hot mess in the kitchen. We are in hot mess kitchen. All right, so if you're going to do soft serve, which is what we're going to try, there's a soft serve or a scoop. So that's one thing that's different from any of the other ones. So I'm making some assumptions and we'll find out in a minute. I think this will blend it more strongly, but we'll see. So I took this out. I washed this and that's where the water's coming from. There's water everywhere.
Well, this is melting.
No, it's not from that. Okay. And so that puts it in there. Before, I would always say it had those 4 little holes or 6 little holes and you put it down and you twist. Now we've got that guy. He's not going to fit in any other way. So I think we've got that. Okay. So we are now going to, this is just like the other one. I'm going to hold this here. See how it takes those little guys underneath there, it pulls them back. And I'm going to drop this in here and let go. And it'll still move some. One anti-venom had a great question. Do you blend your pineapple before freezing it for your tropical whip? No liquid. So I used a can of a pineapple and pineapple juice, and so it was pineapple and pineapple juice. If you cut up fresh pineapple, sometimes I'll get one of the cutting boards that has like a little moat, and then I'll pour that in. You could pour in some water in this case, or non-dairy milk. Non-dairy milk will make it really creamy, so that's something else you could use. You can't have, it has to be packed solid. Like, see how this is like a solid ice cube kind of thing? It can't be just frozen fruit packed up with empty spaces. So you can either mash that fruit, or you could fill it up with non-dairy milk. Does that make sense? Usually I go ahead and blend almost everything that I put in here because I think it makes it better. I don't know if you can hear the cats. They're just like, woo, it's a party.
They're running from room to room, chasing each other.
They're having the best time. The reason, when I'm lazy, I don't blend the crushed pineapple. It's already pretty blended. It will not be as smooth as if I had blended it though. So usually I blend it, but I wanted to test this out because this is one of their one ingredient recipes. Let's see, fruit sorbet. Let me see if I can find it in here too. There's the Creamify tips. So let's look in there. For soft serve, yeah, no, that's for leftovers. We don't need to do that. Blah, 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 da, 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 da. I should really be asleep. That is why I'm saying.
Fruit whip?
Yeah, fruit whip. No prep inspiration chart. So it's saying Dole canned pineapple or other canned fruits and juice. It doesn't have to be in juice, it could be in syrup, but for us doing whole food plant-based, we're gonna pick the juice. Fill to the max line with fruit, cover with fruit to max fill line with juice from the can. Obs, it's good to see you. I've been loving your inspirational messages every morning and it's getting me through the day. So the program, we can do scoop, sorbet, swirl, or fruit whip. So fruit whip is kind of their soft serve program. So I'm going to turn this around. Actually, do you want to get, here, I'll hand you this. Can you put that?
You want me to hold it?
Yeah, and then we'll You guys are gonna see things you're not supposed to see. I kind of like to hear though, instead of to.
Well, do you want me to get on the other side of you, or is that good?
Well, that's good because I got to still do things too. Okay, so come down here for a second. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on, and see there's 2 places and they need to align. Here it click. We're going to slide it in here, and I'm leaving a lot of this stuff on, and that's fine. I'm going to press the power. That's not good. Oh, I think I didn't turn on the, hey honey, let's don't show everything. You're just doing worse.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay, now it should work.
I'm like, let's don't show all the mess. So then she goes, oh yeah, let's look over here at this stuff. No, thank you. Oh, good. Yeah, I got this at the Disney outlet. I feel like it's not the most flattering thing. Okay. Okay, it's turning on now. So I'll change this, ready, and zoom in where it would be like here. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the power button. Ooh, things are happening. Let's see, I wonder, nope, it wants me to do this after I've turned the power on. There we go. So because I had this already locked in, it wasn't happy. Ooh, look, there's Luna.
Hey, sweetie.
Luna.
Freya.
Oh, Freya.
See, you called her Luna and she
She's
glared
like,
at you.
She's like, what? Okay, so we're gonna press soft serve, and then we are gonna press fruit whip. Let's see if you can even see.
That's good.
It's a little quieter. Is it though? Yeah. We're standing right next to the loudest part. Normally it wouldn't be here.
The new thing won't fit on it.
It's over in there though. So we'll kind of see the blade coming through. Do you smell it?
Just plastic.
Okay. It smells a little funny right now, but it could just be that everything's being used.
Except that new plastically appliance smell.
I'm talking about. We've got about 5 minutes. So that's the countdown. And it's doing it about 2 minutes longer, 2 to 3 minutes longer. Mr. McGlitchy, yes, this is the first swirl attempt. Let's see this coming down. I'm going to walk away and just talk for a minute. So this is our first attempt using the Ninja Swirl. And while saying that, you might think that, oh, so a swirl is going to come out of this action that we're waiting to see. No, we still have to process or spin the pint before we put it in the swirl section. So I'll be working a little more in the upcoming week about showing, maybe we'll do 2 of the same kinds of pints, spin one on soft and one on scoop, and see what the difference is as far as what the consistency ends up. But I knew you really wanted to see me attempt a swirl, and so we're going to attempt a swirl with the pineapple. And this is just a 1 ingredient-ish, obs, 1 ingredient-ish thing where I wouldn't, yeah. Cheryl's testing out, we have a shield that goes over the other Ninja Creamis, And this one is too big for that. And sorry, I know these are long minutes, but at least I've walked away from where the loud sound is. I can't see any of your questions, but if you have some, once I get back, I will see them. So another one ingredient Ninja Creamni that you can make is applesauce. And if you find some cinnamon applesauce on sale, that's even better. Any kind of canned fruit will work. I recommend that if you want to use frozen fruit, blend it with whatever non-dairy milk you're going to use, and then put it into a pint. It really makes it a lot easier on the motor for it.
This is Freya's first appliance.
Oh, is she like a little freaked
She's
out?
like trying to figure out where the noise is coming from in the kitchen.
So the kitten you saw before, we named her Luna to begin with, and we've changed her name to Freya because she refused to respond to Luna. And then she'll respond to Freya. So there you have it.
She also gives you a little scowl if you call her Luna too.
She just gives a little scowl. She kind of has kitty resting face, which I think is hilarious because she's so sweet. Like, she just snuggled up in my neck this morning and was like, oh, pets.
She would give me kisses this morning.
All right, I'm going to check the timer. We're going back towards the loud noise. The mic should adjust for it, but we'll see, won't we? 1 minute, we're almost done. We're getting close. It won't be long now. And yeah, so the questions are, you do freeze the pint first. And then we'll do, so yeah, it takes 24 hours. It takes 24 hours usually for a pint to freeze hard, solid, all the way through.
That's a very good big brother.
So what we do, and I have another pint in there. This one came with 2 pints. And I'll put it back towards here. So I'm going to take this out. I'm pushing that button and then pulling it. It locks in right here. We'll look from above, possibly.
One thing I noticed was that the sound of the spinning never changed.
It's a very different texture.
Yeah, that thing never changed. You know how like in the others it changes speed and stuff?
But look at it.
I know. It went full on fast the whole time.
Here, let's see if you can see it with this one a little bit better. Like, that's a much fluffier texture.
Yeah, it is.
Like, way a lot. I did let it sit out for a couple of minutes, but dang.
And you didn't put any non-dairy milk in there at all?
No, I only put the pineapple and the juice from it was just a can. So you can see in here, I'll show you this. So someone was saying, can you do this with a liquid that won't freeze? If it's not frozen, no. Even if you wanted to do split pea soup, if you wanted to kind of use what this was kind of built out after, like that's used in really fancy restaurants. It's really a Paco Jet that's really expensive. You freeze the split pea soup, then it shaves it thinly, right? And so I wanted to show you this. So you see how there's some pineapple stuck in here? That's because I didn't blend it. I didn't blend it super well. So I'm not going to try and get that out of there and put in the pint. Though I think I did. Ooh. It's so good.
Wow. Oh, I don't like the chunks though. I don't know, that texture is just not, I can't.
Okay. So I scraped a couple of the chunks out. out of habit. But we'll see. There shouldn't be any chunks in here. All right, now, so that's step 1. You can't use Grand Marnier. You can use a little bit, but if it won't freeze solid, it doesn't have to freeze as solid as a block of ice.
But it still has to
It can freeze solid like a banana, but it has to be frozen. So, Paul, should I expect to deliver? I think it may be melted by the time we get to San Francisco. Freya, as in the Norse goddess, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is step 1. And then we take it out of here and we have, this is so different than the ones that came before it. All right, which is why I'm going to be a good person and look at, oh, those are not good directions.
It's like, how is that directions?
Right, yeah, it just says,
Here's
put
what
the
you-
lid on. And that's it. So that's what ends this one. And then over here somewhere, it starts again. There's a page of getting started with processing in between. That is my, really?
What's the drip tray for?
When we're going to be swirling. Ooh, it makes a noise. It's like, I can't do that now. And this is the little drip tray. I'm going to have to probably move it over here and we'll get, actually, can this one come and see?
We'll use my fine photography skills.
We'll do a combo. I'm going to see if I can move this camera. Cheryl doesn't know what camera we're on. That is so bad. I've got to show you. Do you feel a little dizzy yet?
This is not me. I did not set this up. This is not me.
I want to make sure you can get like the little swirly shot. All right, and we'll have Cheryl look at the other camera too. So I have to turn it towards me because I don't know what's going on. All right, so we remove the pint from the outer bowl, outer lid. Install the dispense lid on the pint. Make sure the swirl press is installed on the dispense lid. Make sure the swirl press is installed on the dispense lid. It's supposed to be this way. Oh, this is too full. I filled it to the fill line. Look at me. You too can be a professional in the kitchen. I'm just like, all right, let's just swap some of that out and I'll eat it. It is much smoother. Like that, I will say that this, we will do a test this week too of putting the same thing in and using the 2 settings and seeing what happens there. Okay, let's see if it'll fit now or if I need to take a little bit more out. It's so good. The applesauce one starts to look creamy like this too. It doesn't say anything about putting it on a certain way. There's a little button here, but I don't know what that's about. Doesn't say anything about that. Install the pint by aligning the pint's blue tab with the dispense areas. This is blue. 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 And you're welcome to come over here and do that too. Okay.
Get a closer look at the blue.
All right. Blue. And it's this part. It's on the outside. It's not on this part. So if you look from above, you won't see it. Okay. So why don't you keep doing this? You'll have to kind of, so we're going to put it in that way, blue to blue. Then I'm going to lock it in, right?
Ninja's all about the locking in stuff, aren't they?
Well, do we really trust any of the people? Pull out the drip tray from the base unit. I guess evidently I was supposed to install it somehow. There we go. Now the drip tray is installed. Okay, next step. Here, we'll look here for a second. As I'm reading, Cheryl is always fun. Yeah, Cheryl is super goofy. I gave her iced coffee at noon. Don't. It's like a gremlin. And she's been giggling and like, woo!
I'm a little hyped up.
She's so hyped up. I was like, thinking I was going to have to get a babysitter. Help me. Help me. We're all chef in. Yay. It's 10:56 a.m. I thought we were exactly the same. Just, well, 24 hours. Lock it in like the Virgin Voyages cruises.
Yep.
Okay. Now come up here and show this. Or I'll show this. So, and actually I'll click this so you see it too. So when we're doing the bottoms, we looked at this last night. There's a close. Come on. Seriously? iPhone, get a grip. And open, right? So can you hold this for a second? Like about there? So I'm gonna go till this arrow goes from close to open. Underneath here, there's a little slot that's supposed to open up. Good luck. I know, I have no idea what's gonna happen here.
I'm like, why are you opening it? It seems like you would want to close it.
So, we want the ice cream to come out, right?
Yeah, but I thought that's what that would be for.
Yes, but this way, it's closed. There's no way for anything to come through. Or it would have leaked all out in the fridge, right?
Yeah.
So this keeps it closed. When we open it, there's a little...
And there's air holes.
Yeah. All right. Turn the clockwise until it's in the open position, and then we dispense. If you didn't fully dispense the pint, press the retract button to retract the swirl press. That's what's in here, I think. Okay. I do have an ice cream cone, but I think maybe we need to start something smaller just to see what happens. Okay. Ready? I do have a cone, but I know, and I have no idea what's going to happen. So what, do I have to have anything over here? Oh, wait, let me double check this. Blah, blah, blah. And we could use respin if it was crumbly, but it's the opposite of crumbly. To dispense, pull the handle towards you. To stop, let go of the handle. So that it may make some noise and some air bubbles. Ooh, look, you can see, share.
Ooh, it's just like the Dairy Queen. Look at that.
Oh, it aired out when I let go. Okay, give it a minute. Can you guys see that pushing up? Look towards the back of this. Actually, this works way better than I thought it would.
You should stop there.
No, I'm good at this.
Yeah, but it's going to melt fast.
Oop.
See? Oh, no. It's going to be Dole Whip down.
It worked. Paul says, skip the cone, just put your head under it and open your mouth. Come on. I'll feed you. Okay, I'm gonna.
The cats have just freaked out.
Here, taste off of this.
I can't get
I'll
those
get
open.
I've got some cones. These are gluten-free
Can I use
sugar
a spoon
cones.
since I am coming off of medication?
No, you should just have it now.
I want a cone.
Okay. Then yes, just wait a second. The cone is not perfect, but let's see if we can do it. And this was without a respin, but caveat, I did let it sit out a little bit, like 15 minutes. It likes to yell at me if I mess with it too much, I see. So see how this is coming out of the machine and pushing it in? No, come on out. There we go. I see it kind of retracts back a little bit. You can make it slower. Can you?
I think it wants you to just go and not start and stop.
It's It is not the prettiest cone.
You want to show up close cone?
Well, I think they can. Here, let's
This way.
this way. I'm trying to show less of the messy house. There's this one. I'm going to try and make another one and see if I can get the hang. I think some of it is about me getting the hang of it. But
Yeah. I think the start and stop is the...
it is. I didn't practice, you can tell. But this is already working way, way better than I thought it would. I thought it was just going to be a gimmick.
It's good.
That's nice. Oz would love it. All right.
It's not quite the texture of like soft serve just because it's Dole Whip.
I'm going to try to just go slow.
But because you can, because it's the Dole Whip, kind of have the icy texture mixed in with it. But if this was creamy,
This is pretty.
yeah,
It's getting softer because we're messing with it too. So it might be that it doesn't necessarily need to be left out as much.
and also I think if it's something that had a little non-dairy milk in it or something, it would thicken it up a little bit.
It would. A lot of times if I make my Dole Whip, I will use frozen pineapple or fresh pineapple. Some non-dairy milk in there would be really good. A little bit of vanilla goes a long way too. And let's see. Let's see if I've missed any questions.
I mean,
Grab those cones. I know. I wish you guys.
this is still holding its own.
Yeah, it's still holding a shape. I mean, there's definitely some melting. It is going to melt more because it's being kind of ground up more. So just like the others, though, the leftovers, we can. And the retract is not what I thought it was for. Yesterday, I said it was when your pint gets stuck. It's actually to retract this. See where the gray is? That's coming from the machine.
Oh,
to
it's
push
pushing it
out.
forward. Oh, clever. Very clever.
The vanilla is going to be good in the cones.
So by doing that, it also pushes that air forward.
And that's why it doesn't just immediately come out. It has to really push it and figure it out.
Interesting.
It's not bad. I really expected to hate this, and I said that before, and I said that now.
There, somebody wants to see the texture close.
I don't hate it. I can't.
Just sit there now.
So you can kind of see it's pretty smooth. Now you're hearing us crunch on the cones. Let's see. Mr. McGlinchey says, oh no, oh now I want this one, wish I had waited instead of getting the deluxe. The only thing it does differently is this soft serve. So if you're not going to eat soft serve all the time, I wouldn't worry with it. I didn't think it would be worth it. I do like it.
I don't know if I would.
I'm not sure it's worth $100 extra.
Yeah.
It's like $200, $250 to get just the Ninja Creamni or the deluxe. Try Costco or Sam's Club.
It's $179 at Costco sometimes.
For the deluxe. I'm pretty impressed. One of the biggest problems in the Ninja Creamni is that people get mad that they have to respin several times. Oh, Nabia Fan says, what ideas for flavors do you have? I have 2 Ninja Creamni ebooks that you can get. And then if you look down below in the description, for the very first time, the Whole Food Plant-Based Ninja Creamni ebook 2, my most creative name yet, just kidding, is 20% off. So instead of $24.99, it is $19.99, I think, or thereabouts. So I have everything from eggnog and pumpkin pie to green pea mint. As thickeners, instead of using puddings and things like that, I use white sweet potato, pulp left over from making your own non-dairy milk and things like that. Oh, that's not bad at all. Mr. McGlinchey paid $1.99 for the deluxe with 5 tubs. You must be in the UK. And so I think that ends up being a little bit more than $200 US. Yeah, lemon zest and tea. I actually have quite a few tea ice creams that I make, or sorbets. I had one in the last book that I called Night Night Tea. I had like chamomile and different stuff like that. That was really good. One anti-venom says, I need a chocolate dip. And this is a good point. One anti-venom says, it seems to be about the same consistency as my nice cream from the Vitamix. Would need a piping bag for swirling. Oh, it wants to retract. I think it's retracting itself, yeah. It's like, dude, you've had enough time, evidently. I'm not saying everyone's going to want this, because in the whole food plant-based community, we usually have already been making nice cream in the Vitamix with frozen fruit. And it's a similar consistency, but you don't pipe it out. A lot of people, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this to close, and then we'll press to release and pull it out. There's no mess at all. There's none. There's no mess. Here.
Oh my God.
There's not even a drop of mess. I thought it was going to be a hot mess to clean. Look at that. So it literally, everything is contained in this lid and goes, so nothing gets on there.
So the lid has to be scrubbed, not the inside of that?
Yeah, the lid will have to.
No way.
This just comes off this way. I have teeny little hands, though. Let's see.
A little melty. I'll get a paper towel.
Oh, it's just water. Oh, maybe it's not.
It's your juice from the...
My hands are wet now,
Here,
but I have to
I
take...
got bigger hands.
Okay, yeah. Can
Which
you take...
direction do I go in?
I don't know. Evidently, I'm not doing a good job.
Oh, wait. Do you have to unlock it?
You shouldn't. I don't think.
Hold on. No, I think it...
We'll figure this one out. It was easy to go on.
Oh. No, that can't be the way you do it, because that doesn't make you...
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Did it come off?
Oh, you do have to hold. Oh! So this comes off, and then this somehow comes off too. That'll be interesting to figure out. I think it should have both come off at the same time.
Might need to look at the book.
It says it comes off in 3 parts. There's this, and something else. Release the swirl press from the dispense lid. Remove swirl press gasket after each use.
All right, so it's just a gasket.
Okay.
It just pulls out.
Okay, so there you go. Blind leading the blind. All right, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to refreeze. I'm just going to rinse this stuff off. You can go ahead and scrub it. If we do it now instead of waiting until after we eat our ice cream, it takes this long. If we wait till after we've eaten our ice cream, it may take a lot longer. So I encourage you to always just rinse it. Just rinse it. So, for instance, this is my cone.
You want to scrape it with that?
Mm-hmm. pineapple fruit whip is cooking today. So some of this I pulled out of the dispenser, but we're not going to eat.
Y'all, if you could see her, she had the whole cone in her mouth while she was trying to use two hands to do something else. So she was like, ah.
Okay. Okay. What I'm doing now is, if you didn't use all of it, it's okay. We'll make it flat again, freeze it again. We will start and spin it, just like we did on soft serve, or we could spin it on scoopable and have it be a little harder and not melt as quickly. Okay, let me get the lid. You hold that. Put that on. Put it back in the freezer.
So now, how many containers came with it? 2. So, and then they both have that on it?
Yeah, these are, every version has different containers.
Makes me crazy. We've got like 30 containers over there in a cabinet of all different sizes.
It looks to be pretty easy to clean up. The one thing we're not going to see today that we'll see another day is when this is open, there's a little channel that's clear here that's opened. So we would need to rinse that out. It appears that I can rinse that out and still leave things in here to refreeze. Let's see. Eighth wonder of the world. Yeah, Kitty Mommy. Again, I said this a lot last night. I didn't say it so many times today. I am not invested in you upgrading. I'm not saying you should upgrade. But I'm already getting questions about this. So I'm just like going to figure it out. And I'm figuring it out with you guys so you can see what makes sense in the instructions, what may not make as much, you know.
If you're a person who loves soft serve ice cream and cones like that, I mean, I could kind of see the appeal to it. But, I mean, I'm kind of like Kitty Mommy. You can just scoop it out and
we've
put it on a cone that way.
I mean, I don't think it's bad. Is that your watch telling you to go to bed?
Yeah.
It's singing a lullaby to her. Monique says, I'll stick to the Ninja Creamni, but now that's impressive. Eighth wonder of the world, says one Anti-Venom. Yeah, it is a new toy.
Yeah.
And the thing is when there will be a point that I will no longer continue. Like with new Instant Pots, it's got to do, I have the Instant Pot Pro. I still recommend the Duo. It's cheaper. It does all the things you need it to do. Mm-hmm. They kept making them fancier and fancier, and I think it was Instant Pot Max or something like that that never really fulfilled what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. Mr. McGlinchey, it will stay on the channel, and so feel free to have a great night. Sleep well.
Absolutely. Sleep well. If you're in the UK, you're up late. I appreciate you watching this late. Oh, yes, it is late, and we are going to, thanks, Lori. We're so glad that you guys joined us. I know it's 6 minutes of loud noise, and I appreciate you hanging through that.
Yeah.
I think part of that is just the processing time is longer. It's not going, the rod sounded like it wasn't going down as fast.
And it stayed at a consistent speed the whole time. Like if you listen to the Deluxe or one of the other Creamis, when it's going down, it goes down at one speed. And then it kind of, you hear it change speeds a couple times within that process. But this one stayed consistent at the same speed, both down and up. So, thus,
and it was kind of
seems
fun.
A little louder to me that way.
I think there's a little finesse in this that I don't have yet. I did okay. But it's not like when it doesn't respond the way you think it's going to respond. I'll let you try it next time. But just like all the other Ninja Creamni things, though, you don't have to eat all of this. You can process it over and over and over again. So I'm going to be putting this back in the freezer.
Oh, we barely touched any of it.
Well, we had 2 little cones.
I guess there's some air down in
Yeah,
there.
I need to probably press that down a little bit more. I will do that after I get off of this. But you don't want to have any real air pockets in there because then that can make your blade stop being level, and then that can cause problems and scrape up the inside of your container and get plastic in your ice cream and things like that. That's why we want to have the lid or the top level. I think I did okay for a first try. Yeah, thanks, Monique. And it's just much better, I think, a much better learning experience for all of us if I go through it. And then all the other times I make this, I can just go, oh, you need to do this.
Let her take the hit.
But I think it's good to see what's going on. And
Agree.
It really wasn't so complicated. I don't think... Oftentimes, I think my instructions are better because I start talking about the minute things that you need to do step by step, and sometimes they're just like, hey, put it in the thing. But they do have more pictures. The instructions are better for this, but I think it's still nice to see.
Yeah, I still think their instructions are a little bit lacking for it being so different than the other ones.
Right. It's still, I think, the best instructions that they've had for Ninja Creamni yet. Monique says
at least
the
there's
no
words
mask,
and not just pictures.
the no mess was impressive. Everybody thought it was just going to be
a
holy mess to clean, and nothing's cleaned here. Now, what I will do, and actually, there's nothing on the nib, but what I'm going to do, actually, I'll get this. I'll show you the one.
I thought that I was going to have to, I was like, oh, lordy, not another thing that I have to clean constantly.
So
because
usually
she gets
I use a
frustrated
smaller
with it.
piece. I just wet some paper towel, and there's a little nib under here, the rod, that, because you don't have to clean the rod that comes down, and in fact, I don't know that there's much on it at all. They made the blade deeper where that goes.
It also seems wider.
It is wider, and it's less likely to strip. I think, it's a little bit quieter. That's the one thing that
You thought it was quieter?
It's quieter.
I guess we just haven't had one going constantly for a while.
We'll do a decimal test. I think the breeze is quieter, but I think none of the others are. So, and the breeze is not being made. Mm-hmm. So I think this might be the compromise for that. Mm-hmm. Paul says, you explain things as a user, not as a marketing person. Yes.
Yes.
And I appreciate what they're doing. It's just, I figure if I need more detailed instruction, you may too. And it is kind of fun, the swirly part. Like if I can have vanilla soft serves, I made a vanilla pint as well. So what I did is I used half a cup of cooked white sweet potato or Korean sweet potato, Japanese sweet potato, vanilla, non-dairy milk, and I used some agave nectar.
So to me, I think calling it a swirl may be misleading to some people because I think they may think that the swirl can have multiple flavors together.
People were asking me that last night.
And I don't think unless you were to freeze two different things side by side, but then it would just mix it all together too. There's no way to get
There's no way to actually get like a chocolate vanilla swirl.
Yeah.
But it does do a swirl soft serve cone.
Right. But it just doesn't do swirl flavors. So I think that's a little misleading as far as the marketing on that.
It could go either way on that one. Diane says, what a giant Ninja soft serve machine. Better have room on the kitchen counter. It is about twice as big as the Ninja. Someone was pointing out on the video that it's not as deep. It is wider, but it's not as deep, so it was better to go under there.
Where's the other one?
Oh, the deluxe is over there on the floor.
Because I'm like, is that true?
Sorry, I'm eating this cone. It's melting. And I don't want to have just a soggy cone and make me sad. Monique says, love your demos. I bought the Creami and the Arc Mirror after watching you. Good. Well, and here's the thing. I'm always curious about different kitchen appliances, as you guys know. And I would tell you, like, I was really expecting to not like this one at all. And I've prefaced all of this with that too. But it being so new, I felt like it wasn't fair if I didn't just get one. So I got one, it had expedited delivery so I could go ahead and show this. And then you can decide. I can tell you right now, I was expecting this to be just a hot mess to clean up. And there is nothing there. It's completely dry. There's nothing in there. And that makes it, here.
Dusty.
Here, you can put it right there. I may have misspelled swirl in the title because I was doing it in the car on the way here, so I will update it.
Yeah, it is narrow. It is.
Yeah, it's a little narrow without this. You know, and I think this is supposed to go all the way back in. I'll fix that. But it's a little bit taller, you know, so that's something to see. They're going to have all these dimensions on Ninja. Dylan says, I hope a mint chocolate chip swirl works. You know, it should. What you would have to do, so let's say you're making mint ice cream, maybe you're making my green pea mint, and you've gone through the soft serve thing, and then do a mix in, and then try and swirl it. Maybe, we'll see. We've got some extra testing to do, but that may work. A lot of times using mini chips will work. Also, if you take a chocolate bar and you cut it in very small pieces, that will work.
What about if you grated it?
You can grate it. Yeah, you totally can grate chocolate, and that would be really good. If you put the big chocolate chips in, they just stay whole big chocolate chips. That's not going to work well in the swirl. But if you take a kitchen knife, like a chef's knife, chocolate cuts divinely. And it's one of my favorite things to cut. It's perfect. It gives this great sensation. So, oh good. Ross Sheffian says this is so fun to watch. It's an interesting idea. And I think for people, you know, I don't know if it's for everyone. I think most whole food plant-based people could do with a Ninja Creamni, just because you'll make your money back as far as not buying $7 and $8 pints of vegan ice cream if you're doing that.
Plus you can limit the ingredients that you put in it too, so it makes it a little bit better.
And you can use dates to sweeten it or fruit to sweeten it. I have some recipes that are sweetened with pears as well. So all that's good. I think with ice cream, this could be really neat. But if because one of the things I say with my Ninja Creamni recipes is you can freeze them in ice cube trays, process them in a blender. You let them sit out 5 to 10 minutes. And if you need some recipes, go over to healthyslowcooking.com. I got you. I got a bunch of recipes up there. Or you can get the book on sale. But since we've been doing that for a decade, it's not as interesting as it is the general population who was not making ice cream. So
it's interesting.
If you don't have an Ninja Cream, we'll keep doing tests and see how everything goes. If you don't have one yet, I don't caution you against this one at this point. I think this one's fine. If you already have a Ninja Creamni, you don't need to upgrade. You're fine. You don't need to get a deluxe so that you can make creamy chinos and slushies. You can make them in the original. I tell you how in my free videos. So it's not hard. You don't have to have a button that says that though.
It's interesting. This is model NC 701. This is model NC 501.
Right.
So the breeze must be 601.
Possibly. I don't know. It's over there if you want to go look.
The breeze didn't sit on the market very long.
No, there were a lot of returns. People had it catch on fire. Mine's been fine. So I just stay in the room. It's smaller.
Oh no, this is 201.
Okay. I don't know.
This is the breeze, if you've never seen the breeze.
You can't get it. Don't buy it. Some of them were not good. Mine seems to have been holding up just fine. So if you have one and it's holding up just fine, yay. One anti-venom says, I find that I'm not going through as many bananas since I got my Creami. It's more versatile. And it's true. So typically with nice cream, You would use frozen bananas, a little bit of non-dairy milk, or maybe your food processor and frozen bananas, and a little bit of vanilla extract as a base, and then go from there. Whereas here, a lot of people will use things like pudding mixes or protein drinks and things like that, not in our community, to thicken it. In my books, I use like frozen green peas and frozen bananas, other frozen fruit, cooked sweet potatoes, okara or soy milk pulp. Different things like that will also thicken the ice cream and make it kind of have a more premium texture. Just the pineapple is pretty good for like a sorbet. It doesn't have that same mouthfeel as a premium ice cream, but it and applesauce, still out of the Creami, is amazing. You would have thought I put other ingredients in this for sure.
No mischief on the keyboard, please.
Oh, what's going on? Fergus? Oh, Fergus jumped up over there. All right, do you guys have some questions while I'm here? Tomorrow we will spin the vanilla pint and see what happens there. See if Kathy can make a more beautiful swirl. If you have some questions, let me know. If there's some certain things you want to know about it as well. I am shocked. Oh, and Dylan says not a lot of people liked going to McDonald's for this, for a swirl cone.
Yeah.
Also, you know.
And it never worked. Like every time you go to the drive-thru and say you wanted a cone, they'd always be like, oh, the machine's down.
Well, you know why. People have to clean them. So they're rarely sanitized properly. So a lot of those machines have mold growing in them. And that's just a fact, and I'm sorry to tell you. The other thing is like McDonald's had a certain contract with people to fix them that went through. But anyhow.
Fergus.
Fergus is fine. Fergus is back there. This is why we clean the counters before we cook anything.
I don't understand what his new obsession with getting on the counters is back there. He's never gotten on those counters before.
You know what? Anyhow, aren't you glad that you get to be involved in our exciting conversations at home? Fergus is smelling an orange. He's just up to mischief. That's all it is. Yeah, ooh, vanilla. It's going to be Kathy Q. I like that. Woo!
I suspect tomorrow when you do the vanilla, because it's going to be a little fattier. Don't you think?
It will be a more premium texture, but
Right.
not fattier.
Well, I mean, because you're using the non-dairy milk in it.
Because I'm using the white sweet potato in it.
You are using white sweet potato and not the non-dairy milk. You have to
Both.
put some non-dairy milk in there.
Yeah, but the texture comes from the sweet potato.
Okay. See?
You guys knew that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, ooh, vanilla.
I don't pay attention.
Monique says, I find I haven't been using as much. I don't like ice cream as much as I thought I did. I guess it's because I couldn't get it all the time, made it more desirable. Absolutely. Oh, good. Monique says, I love your banter. I'm glad, because evidently we're not able to stop ourselves. It's one of those things, like, I don't use it all winter long as much, but as soon as it starts to get cool, I use it constantly.
You mean warm?
Yeah, that's what I meant. As long as it gets warm. And often I'll make oatmeal smoothie pints, have that for breakfast when it's like 100 degrees outside.
Yeah,
or,
it is good in the
or even
in the
have
summer.
it for a lunch or something when it's just too hot to eat. Everything's fine. He's drinking water out of something. He thinks it's the Serengeti.
Well, and she was opening the door to the cabinet, so I'm like...
Cheryl is getting her first best life with cats.
They are a pair, that is for sure.
And
We couldn't be more blessed than to have two cats that get along the way they do.
Oh, Paul, you would love Miss Freya. She does not like to be picked up, so I can't pick her up. But she is. Let me see if I can.
Freya.
Wait, don't. Huh?
Hello, sweetie.
Want to say hello? Hi, baby girl. Oh, hello. Meow. There's Fergus. Aren't they the cutest? Okay. So, enough of our cats. Anyhow, thanks for joining us. It works better than I thought it was ever going to work, and I'm just barely learning how, so I think it is a lot easier to use than I expected it to, a lot less mess than I expected it to.
I was seriously impressed with how clean that chamber was, and I actually really like the texture of having the cone thing.
It is nice. I mean, and sometimes in your Ninja Creamni, without the special swirl, you could get the same texture by just respinning until it becomes a little softer. If you don't need the swirly swirl, you could get a big cake icing tip or take some parchment paper and cut it, and you could make a big swirl that way too. Oh, my Paul's cat would love to be friends. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, she is gorgeous. She is hilarious, but she does have that little.
Look at her.
Okay, let me see.
She's like got this whole like. Why are you still on there?
She has a little resting kitty face. Do you have a resting kitty face? Fergus is like, stop focusing on her. Focus on me.
He protects her.
He does. They're really good. Like the fact that they didn't grow up together. She's probably a year and a half, maybe.
He's hissed at her twice.
Like,
Yeah.
and then they make up.
Yeah.
But like
The first time he saw her, he like hissed at the carrier and then ran. And then he hissed at her one other time. I can't remember what she was doing. It was something silly.
She's rougher on him than he is on her. He's actually very kind. She will just come and just tackle him, and they'll be rolling around. So at first we were like, oh.
And every time we hear somebody squealing, it's him, not her.
Well, or they go, ee! And then they break away, and then about less than a minute, they're back at it. So they're fine. But we are very happy.
Yeah, they're entertaining for sure.
So hopefully this helps a little bit. I'm going to continue to do more of this. I won't be doing it daily for the foreseeable future, but I probably will pop on tomorrow at least and do the vanilla, and then maybe we'll do something once a week. And any recipe that can go in here can go in the other models. So even if you see Ninja Swirl, Rainbow Magic Ice Cream, the recipe is going to work in yours too. You just won't be able to swirl it. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you guys to have the very best night, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, everybody.